Watching my videos, and today I have something different that I want to share with you. You've always been able to get questions asking you to actually solve a quadratic equation by using either the quadratic formula, the factorization method, or maybe the completing square method. But this time round, I have a different formula that I've actually been able to come up with that can easily be able to help you solve a quadratic formula in an easier way. So the formula was actually invented by a particular professor in a certain university in the United States of America, and because of the coming up of the quadratic formula, it got washed away. But again, to actually just make it live and be able to actually help students solve a quadratic formula very easily, we are going to use what we call the Po-Shen-Lo method that solves a quadratic formula in 5 seconds. Let me just pick an example of a quadratic formula that you can be able to solve in such a way that in a lifespan or in a span of 2 or 3 minutes, we'll have the answers at the end of the day. For example, I may be given something of this sort. I can be told x squared, you see, minus 2x, you see, then I can be actually able to have again minus 8 is equals to 0. So I want to solve this quadratically. Let me see first. If I decide to use what you call the factorization method, what am I supposed to get? So let's use the factorization method. Factorization method. Good. So with the factorization method, then I can be able to use what you call the Po-Shen-Lo method. The Po-Shen-Lo method. Good. So the Po-Shen-Lo method, then the factorization method. At the end of the day, I must get the same answers in as far as these two methods are concerned. So to begin with the factorization method, if it gets you to solve this quadratic equation, I have to consider having the sum and the product. The sum will have to actually get taken as the middle value. So it's actually negative 2. The product has to be taken as the last value with each symbol. Of course, the sign, that is negative 8. So I'll have to look for two numbers. When I add, I get negative 2, and when I multiply, I get negative 8. I may not actually bother so much, isn't it? The sum of this case. I'll look at what we call the product. I'll ask myself, which numbers, when multiplied, will give us 8? Of course, I have to have 2 and 4. 2 and 4 will obviously give me 8, but I can have again 8 and 1. So if I multiply these two and multiply these two, the answer must be 8. I don't consider the sign at this time. But now there's no way in which 8 and 1 can get added to get 2, even with introducing a negative on any of these numbers or even all of them. So that one gets left out. I'll come here and say 2 times 4 is 8. And now the product is negative. That means one of the numbers must be negative. Then which number is negative here? Let me go to the sum. The sum is negative. I'll ask myself, if I say negative 2, negative 2, let me just bring it here. If I say negative 2, then plus 4. Then again I say negative 2 times 4. This gives me 2, this gives me 8, which is now negative. But now you see, the sum is supposed to be negative. So obviously, that means this one cannot be negative 2. So that means the next number becomes the negative. So I'm going to have 2 times negative 4, then 2 plus negative 4. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. 2 plus negative 4 is negative 2. So my numbers are 2 and negative 4. Great. So I'll come here and actually pick this equation. Write it there. So I'm going to have x squared minus 2x minus 8. My numbers are 2 and negative 4. Good. 2 and negative 4. Let me proceed with my working. So I'm going to have these two numbers replacing the whole of this part. That's the meaning of factorization. So what do I do here? I'm going to write x squared. Then this is 2. Instead of writing this, you have to replace with this and this. This is negative, this is positive. I'm going to say plus 2x. Then this is negative. Then I say negative 4x. Then I say minus 8. Common divisor, it is x into x squared, that is x, plus x into 2x, that is 2. So x times x, x squared, x times 2, 2x, minus common divisor 4 into, that is x, then plus 2. So that's minus 4 times x minus 4x. Minus 4 times positive 2 minus 8. Good. So these are actually similar. So I'll say x minus 4. Good. Then I only picked one from here. So I'll say x plus 2. So my work is done. My work is done. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, if in case you're using what you call the Po-Shen-Lo method that got brought into existence by a particular professor from one of the universities in the world, I'm going to write it down. X squared minus 2x minus 8. What do I do here? I pick the middle value. So the sum will give me what you call the midpoint. Just try to follow what I'm going to do to understand. The sum is negative 2. It must give me the midpoint. Now in this case, what I'm supposed to do, if it is negative, I always make it to become positive. So that means I'm supposed to have what you call positive 2. Negative 2. The sum, I change it to become positive. Then for me to get the midpoint, I divide it by 2. So what do I get as my midpoint? Positive 1. That's the Po-Shen-Lo method. Then I come here and say, look at that. I write here positive 1 as the midpoint. See? Then I have to ensure that if this is the midpoint, then I'm supposed to actually get something on the left and something on the right. So in that case, I'm supposed to say, if this is positive 1, I can write here u, the length, u, the length. Then that is actually to say 1 minus u, 1 plus u on this side. So I'll have 1 minus u on this side, 1 plus u on this other side. Because a quadratic expression must have actually two expressions when it gets solved. Then at the end of the day, these two will give me the product. So I'll say 1 minus u times 1 plus u. I might get what you call now the product. And my product here is negative 8. Look at that. My product is negative 8. So I'm going to write here negative 8. So 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times u is 1u. Minus 1 times 1 minus 1u. Then minus u times positive u minus u squared is equals to negative 8. So at the end of the day, this will cancel out. So I have 1 minus u squared is equals to minus 8. So this gets taken on this other side. So what do I have at the end of the day? Minus u squared is equals to minus 8 minus 1. Positive, negative. So minus u squared is equals to minus 9. Negative and negative will disappear. So u squared is equals to 9. If I get the square root, that means the value of u is equals to 3. Okay, I'll come back here. I said 1 minus u, 1 plus u. So what do I do? I'm supposed to have something of this sort. So I'll draw this. Then here I have the midpoint positive 1, Then I have here 1 minus u from this case here. Then I have 1 plus u. 1 plus u, 1 plus u. So positive 1. Then I have known that u is 3 from my working. Then I'll say now 1 minus 3. Look at that. I'll say 1 plus 3. Look at that. Okay. So 1 minus 3 is negative 2. 1 plus 3 is 4. So I'll introduce x. I'll say x is equals to negative 2. Then x is equals to 4. What are actually my answers? This gets taken on this point. It becomes x plus 2. And this becomes x minus 4. They are the same answers that we got here. X minus 4, x plus 2. When you are using what you call the factorization method. Look at that. Factorization method. Factorization method gave us x minus 4, x plus 2. My method here, the Po-Shen-Lo method. The Po-Shen-Lo method has ended up giving me the same answers. Good. Ended up giving me the same answers. X plus 2, x minus 4. X minus 4, x plus 2. Good. The order does not matter so much. Thank you so much.